Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. And it's Monday morning, and we're excited to get back into our series we've been doing on Creating Your Ultimate Destiny by Robert Stuberg. And as you know, every Monday for the last, let's say it's been 9 weeks now, we've been covering these steps and these strategies in order to create the life that you are meant to live, your best life. And today we're going to get right into the 10th strategy, the 10th area of creating your ultimate destiny. And that's freeing yourself from adversity. Freeing yourself from adversity. And that's finding a way to really create your resolve in your life, your resolve in your life. Because what you've got to realize, and I think everyone already knows, that adversity is going to come into every part of your life. It doesn't matter whether you're winning or losing or having a tough time or doing really well. Adversity is going to come regardless of where you are in your life. But to the extent at which it affects you and how you let it affect you in your life, that's completely determined by you. But it's also determined by how well you're prepared to face it. You know, when I talk with Robert Stuberg about this particular area of life, this area of adversity, it always comes back to that same principle that the more prepared you are to face adversity, the better you're going to be equipped to deal with it. And so whatever it is you're dealing with in your life, you know, it might be struggles on a personal level, a business level, it might be with relationships, it might be with your own, mindset, or it might be your physical health. Either way, I know that everyone has adversity they're dealing with in their life. And every part of your life will have cycles where you'll deal with different types of adversity. So what I want to talk to you about today is a 5-step plan in order to help you to be prepared in advance and in order to deal with adversity along the way. This 5-step plan, although it might seem simple, is something that a lot of people aren't willing to do. But I promise you that if you do it, you're going to create the confidence that you need to overcome any problem. Because going into adversity in your life, the best and most important thing you could do is have confidence that no matter what, you're going to be able to overcome any problem. And when you go into life or adversity with that perspective, then you deal with it differently, right? You know, we've talked before about winners win. And winners win because they're confident and they have wins going in their favor, and so they have a little bit of momentum. Well, going into any adversity, whether you expect it or don't expect it, if you can go through this 5-step plan and you can develop confidence to overcome the adversities in your life, it is going to happen smoother, simpler than if you hadn't. You know, all adversity is going to take a struggle, but if you're confident and you have a plan and you have a strategy to be able to deal with adversity in life, it's going to be much better. So I want to go through these steps with you. The 5 steps I'll just review real quickly with you is: number 1, always maintain a positive perspective. That's most important. Number 2, assess the situation honestly. We'll get into that in a little bit more detail. Number 3, see the adversity as a gift, or ask yourself what you can learn from this adversity. Number 4, determine what actions you need to do to get a positive outcome or a favorable outcome from this adversity. And 5, the one that most people don't do, is they just take action. Take action to move forward in life. So let's break these down just a little bit while we have some time. The first step is to always maintain a positive perspective. This is really, really important because to begin with any type of adversity, you've got to have a positive perspective. You've got to be optimistic. You've got to have that abundant mindset, because this alone is going to help you from getting sucked into the problem, from getting sucked into the that spiral effect that's going to take a negative situation and keep you down under the circumstances. So always starting with an abundant mindset or a positive perspective is the first and most important step. When you recognize you have an adversity in your life, step number 1, maintain a positive attitude no matter what throughout it. The second step is kind of one that a lot of people don't think about, but it's learning to assess the situation honestly. What that means is a lot of times we develop a perspective on what we think this problem means in our life. And as you've heard me say before, perspective changes as time goes on. And almost always, in hindsight, we can go back and see that the problem wasn't as difficult as we thought at the time. So assessing the situation honestly and getting a perspective that's very neutral on any adversity is very important, because when you get wrapped up with judgment of the adversity, when you get wrapped up with that judgment is when you start to go down the wrong path. It's when you get overwhelmed and you get complicated and you face these situations that you can't seem to find any solution for. So assess the situation honestly. I've had many events in my life for businesses that I've had where we have done the marketing and we've done all of the work needed to be able to hold in a successful event. In fact, we'd had thousands and thousands of registrations for events, and we would get to the point of the event starting during the pre-registration, and sometimes we'd have no people showing up, and it was very, very overwhelming. What I had to learn to do was, rather than assume that the adversity or that people were not going to show up, I had to say to myself, look, it's early, you've got to give it time, and ultimately it didn't matter until the event had started whether or not the room was full or not. And so a lot of times we get caught up in our emotions when we're trying to assess a situation in adversity. And what this second step is all about, it's about being really non-judgmental and not getting caught up in the adversity itself. It doesn't matter whether it's something happening to you or with you or for you. You've got to assess the situation honestly. And that carries you into the third step. And the third step is not only being positive about anything when you start and assessing it honestly, but see the adversity as a gift. Because see, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer said that so many times. And what it means by that is that when you see something as a problem, it becomes a problem. When you see something as a possible benefit, even if it's a difficult situation, you can grow from it, and that's a benefit. Even if it's something that's going to affect you in a bad way, you can become stronger. You can learn to adapt. You can learn to build your confidence. You could learn to build your discipline. All of those are gifts that you can use. And so when you go into a problem or adversity with the perspective that it's going to be a gift, there's going to be an outcome, two things happen. Number one, you deal with it totally differently. And number two, you actually look for the benefits in the problem. And when you're looking for the benefits in the problem, the solutions of the problem, that's when things start to happen your way. So step one was to maintain a positive perspective. The second one is to assess the situation honestly. And third, see every adversity as a gift. Fourth, and this is where we get right down to the work. Fourth, you have to research and brainstorm solutions and not get caught up in the problem. You hear me talk a lot about starting from solution, meaning when you're focused on the problem itself, a lot of times the solutions don't come. When you start to look for solutions and you're not starting from the problem, but you're starting from solution, your brain, your life, your circumstances, your environment, they help you to solve the solution. When your brain's looking to solve a solution rather than fix a problem, identify a solution rather than fix a problem, your perspective is just different. So when you can, in this fourth step, learn to look for solutions, what that's going to do is it's going to lead you to breakthroughs. It's going to lead you to opportunities. It's going to lead you to identifying the gift in the problem. And so starting from solution is very important. And once you've brainstormed and listed out various solutions, the final step is just to take action. Now, most people, believe it or not, don't take action because of fear or emotion or overwhelming, sense of not being able to fix the problem. But a lot of times what they don't realize is that the solutions come through the motion, through the taking action. A lot of times I've tried to fix a problem and I haven't had the solution, but I've started working on possible solutions and the solution came through that process. And you've probably seen this or experienced this in your life, many, many times it's the motion that creates emotion, creates action, creates solutions. And so taking action is really the ultimate step, because a lot of times taking action will push you through the problem. It'll push you through the adversity. And at a very minimum, it's going to shorten the period of time you deal with it. When you get caught up and you get stagnant and you're not taking action, that's when you really get caught up in the adversity in your life. So let's review again what we've talked about. When you deal with adversity, any type of adversity, first, maintain a positive perspective. Second, assess the situation honestly. And third, see every adversity as a gift and ask yourself what you can learn from it. Fourth, determine what actions or solutions can help you to create a favorable outcome. And finally, take action. That is the 5-step formula that, although seems simple, if you back up, is something that will help you to overcome any type of adversity in your life, regardless of what it is. That's the message I wanted to be able to give with you today. I hope you have an amazing day. Next Monday, we'll pick it up on the 11th step in this Creating Your Ultimate Destiny process. But for now, do me a favor and share this show. That's how we grow the show. If you've learned something today, I want you to share it with someone that you know. Help us to be able to spread the message and grow the show. My name is George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Have a great day.